I don't think there is a loser more degenerate, more pathetic than Johnny Somali. His lore is sadder than the ending to Marley and Me, and it's entirely by his own doing, and his insatiable appetite to be famous. Like, his clout obsession has created a terminal illness that has led him down this path that will most likely see him behind bars. And I say most likely, even though from everything I've read it is guaranteed he is going to jail for his new charge that he is now facing. It seems there's no wiggle room for him to squeak his way out of this one. His newest charge carries a mandatory prison sentence of up to 7 years in the slammer. It also happens to be like his 150th charge that he's currently facing in Korea right now. It's because every time he goes live, he asks for $5 donations to commit a new crime. So he is constantly just getting more. We're going to dive into this new charge in just a moment, but I just want to make a strong argument that Johnny Somali is the most pitiful soul that has ever entered the streaming space, period. He is the GOAT of cringe in streaming. He has one goal in life, one purpose, and he's not shy about it. All he wants is to be famous and rich through streaming. He is neither. He is only famous to people that like lolcows and love to make fun of him and throw, tomatoes at him and cover all of his degeneracy. His own community doesn't actually like him. They just really like the idea that they get to control this man's life and send it down the shitter. It's like when you're playing Sims and you tell your Sim to put their hand on a hot stove and it like catches them on fire. That's what his community does. They'll put like $5 donation there in order for him to break a law so they can watch him get arrested and ruin his life, or have him harass someone in public so that way he'll get his ass beat and they get to laugh at it. So that's his whole legacy. He's also not rich from it. He doesn't make much money through streaming. He makes just enough to survive and also travel to more places for the global ass-beating world tour that he goes on. But the people who cover him, like all of the streamers and YouTubers that make videos about him, they make thousands of dollars. He is actually a golden loot box. He is leading people to a treasure he himself cannot possess. It's almost poetic. He has thrown his whole life away, willingly just sacrificing his freedom for nothing. But it has helped all the people that make fun of him. He provides them with basically an endless source of content, endless source of revenue, because who doesn't want to tune in to the pathetic story of this wild specimen of degeneracy, while he himself gets nothing. He doesn't even get morsels, crumbs, nothing. No attention, no money from it. It's unbelievable. You cannot write someone more pathetic than Johnny Somali. But anyway, let's go over his most recent charge here. Yep, he's guaranteed prison time. That's the good news. It's big, very big. I tried to refrain from diving too deep into it on my own so we could learn together on stream. But this is for the AI deepfakes he was making. This is the mandatory prison sentence, which I recall people were saying would likely be the case because of how seriously they take it. The controversial American live streamer notorious for his brazen antics and public disruptions is guaranteed to face prison time in South Korea. A fifth and most severe charge violating the country's Special Act on Sexual Violence Crimes has obliterated any remaining hope for leniency. The days of online infamy are over. For Somali, the virtual stage that once gave him global attention has been replaced by the harsh reality of legal consequences. They make it sound like he was actually popular. He never has been. The only people who know about him are people like me who follow lolcows. Almost nobody, as like a stream watcher, a viewer, will have ever heard of his name. He never even got global attention. The attention he got was the locals of the countries he would visit beating his ass because he would constantly be disrespecting them and making a huge scene every time he went out. This is kind of just going over a lot of what we've already gone over. Here we go. This goes more into the deepfakes. Prosecutors revealed that Somali is now facing charges violating the South Korea Special Act on Sexual Violence Crimes. The charges stem from an AI-generated deepfake video that depicted popular Korean streamer Bong Bong in fabricated intimate scenes with Somali. That's something we talked about as well, and a lot of people mention that they take that shit very, very seriously, and that seems to be the case. Under South Korean law, the creation, distribution, or possession of non-consensual AI-generated explicit content is classified as sexual crime. Woof! Legal experts have confirmed that this offense carries a mandatory prison sentence up to 7 years. Unlike the previous charges, which allowed for financial penalties, this particular crime eliminates the possibility of a mere fine. This is not simply an issue of digital mischief, explained a legal analyst, Legal Mindset. This is a serious sexual offense, and South Korea's court will treat it as such. When deepfakes are weaponized to humiliate or defame, the legal system responds with severe consequences. What a fucking W. Oh, what a W. And again, another thing to make big mention of, this is one charge. Keep in mind, he has also pled guilty to other charges carrying a minimum of 5 to 10 years. But this one is a guaranteed prison sentence up to 7 years. I guess we don't know exactly how long it'll be. And he still has more charges to come. He just got new charges when he got arrested on stream the other day. So he is still collecting these puppies like the Infinity Stones. When it's all said and done, this guy actually could end up with like 30, 35 years in the slammer. All for like a crumb. A tiny tiddlywink of internet attention. It's unbelievable. It's a bold statement, but I'm gonna make it. I think he is probably the most degenerate lolcow, at least in terms of like the consequences he's facing for being the lolcow, you know what I mean? Chris Chan is inarguably the GOAT of lolcows. No one will ever beat that. But not even Chris Chan received punishment to this level that Johnny Somali is. He's also going to get tried as a repeat offender with all the recent stuff too. I keep seeing that, but I don't know if that's confirmed. It sounds reasonable, like that sounds right. South Korea has cemented its reputation as a global leader in combating digital sex crimes. The country's strict laws were forfeited following a series of high-profile cases involving sexually explicit deepfakes and online harassment. In 2024, lawmakers passed legislation criminalizing the possession and viewing of non-consensual deepfake content. The penalties are unyielding. Offenders face up to 3 years in prison or fines reaching 30 million won, or 22.6k. Distributing or profiting from such content carries even harsher consequences, with sentences up to 7 years behind bars, which is what Johnny Somali's facing. South Korean society, still healing from past cases of cyber exploitation, has shown little patience for perpetrators like Somali. That is an understatement. They beat his ass every single time he goes live. They literally had a UAV online where they'd track him, follow him, and beat him. Oh yeah, they were fucking spawn camping him. In one of his streams, I already showed the clip multiple times, but in one of his streams, he literally leaves his hotel, and while, like, right after he gets out of his hotel, he just gets his ass beat. This second, it's like GTA RP when you leave the hospital, but your ops are still waiting. It was so good. And this is just going over what we already talked about when he went to court. He went to court beyond hungover and just being extremely disrespectful. He was over an hour late. Yeah, we already went over all that. Also, we're coming up on his next appearance in court. It's next week, I believe. What would this guy even do? Again, you're probably not familiar with his face because usually it's face down in some concrete after getting his ass beat. But he's an IRL streamer whose entire content was just breaking laws on stream for like donations and just being racist to everyone in every country he'd visit, trying to provoke them into a confrontation, and then he'd get his ass beat and cry about it. He did this in many places. Most notably before Korea was Japan. And that's just been his whole content. His viewers goad him into breaking more laws for their own entertainment, their own amusement, watching him throw away his life. And he does it with a big smile on his face, drinking himself into a coma every night on stream. It's fascinating. He doesn't stream on Kick. Kick doesn't even let him on there. He streams on Party. And even Party fucking banned him. I think they took the ban back, like he's allowed to stream again, but even Party, which I didn't even know they had ban features over there, they banned him for a little bit. If human beings continue to evolve for the next billion years, I'm confident that we will never see a specimen more pathetic than Johnny Somali. It's almost impressive how unlikable he is. He is a miracle of everything going wrong in a human being. He is the apotheosis of cringe. And he's just been arrested again in Korea. While he is already actively facing charges, some of which he's already pled guilty to, that carry 5 to 10 years in Korean prison, he is still going on stream and doing his best to get more charges added on top of it, even just basically saying that his whole goal is to just keep getting arrested on stream, and he does it all for $5 donations. But I think the money isn't the driving factor for him. He does it for the love of the sport, just to continue to get arrested and humiliated. That is Johnny Somali's purpose in life. He is a punching bag who goes on a global tour of getting his ass beaten by all of the citizens of the countries he starts streaming in. And now in Korea, his goal is to get his ass beat in Korean prison for the next 10 or so years, it seems. He is going on stream with the sole purpose of doing illegal things to keep getting arrested in Korea. It's fascinating. He treats crimes like Pokemon cards and he wants to collect them all. He is doing everything he can to break as many laws as he can while he is still in the middle of all of the other charges he was facing before this. It's intriguing. Huge Johnny Somali update. I just watched the Atozi video on it. He just got arrested again in Korea, but they let him go. I am so glued to the Johnny Somali case. He is a fascinating lolcow. And while I've been optimistic that Korea is going to actually just skullfuck him with all of the charges he is gathering, like he is gathering them like the Dragon Balls right now. And right now all of our wishes are trying to be granted with like a long prison stay. But in the meantime, while he's still in these active cases, he gets to go home in Korea and stream. So his content has become people giving him $5 for him to go get himself arrested. So he continues to just keep adding more and more and more and more and more charges to it. So last night, here, I'll just play some of the Atozi video.
Prank called the police, then said if he got enough donations, he was going to run out and get arrested on the street. And that's exactly what happened.
It's so beautiful. For $5, this guy will run out and get himself arrested while he is currently facing other charges that are carrying a minimum, or between 5 to 10 years, without all of the other charges he's getting on top of it. I don't know how he still is able to do this. I don't get it. Of course, I'm not a Korean judge. In fact, I'm not even a Korean. But how in the world can this guy, who is making a mockery out of not only the legal system, but the entire area, still be able to keep doing this? He's doing it on purpose too, and he knows that. It just blows my mind. He is actively still fighting the... Well, not even fighting, he pled guilty to charges that are carrying many years of jail time.
Right now, I swear to God, look at the upstairs. I'm calling the cops right now on the watch. I'm calling the cops right now.
Oh, he's so bad. He's so naughty.
So he wanted
no, don't do that, Johnny. Oh my
God,
that's crazy.
Then someone donated $5, and that's exactly what he did.
Let me see the bread. Oh! Hey, listen, are you police? Are you police?
Yes, police.
Police?
Yes.
You know my name? My name is Johnny Somali.
Johnny Somali?
Are you song pa police?
Police emergency call 112. Do you need help in police?
Korean emergency 112?
Yes.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Accident, I'm sorry.
What? That's the whole prank call for $5. Okay. Oh, he does it a few times though.
Right Hello.
Hello.
You know me, Johnny Somali.
Yeah.
Johnny Somali?
Somalia?
Johnny Somali.
It's crazy what he'll do for $5. I actually believe you could pay him $10 not only to suck your dick, but like actually suck a fart out of your butt. He will do anything for just like a couple of dollars. Like $5. Think about that. There is so little you can the purchasing power of $5 is less than like spit. You can't even buy a full fast food meal for $5 anymore. And yet he's willing to get more charges on top of his charges that he has already pled guilty to for that. If you gave him $100, he would probably throw himself in front of a train if you asked him to. The man is just another level of degenerate.
Oh no, we're going to jail.
I guess that last comment right there was for seeing something.
Call the police. Call the police.
So he just walks around annoying as many people as he can find. Then he does like a little dance here. Where's his dance? Here it is.
Let's go, Korea! Korea #1! Yeah!
What an unfortunate build. Nobody chooses this body type in video games. That is so rough. So he goes around, does this for a while. Eventually, the cops show up and they arrest him.
We live, shoutoutparty.com. Come, I'll give you my passport. Come.
He looks like a Titan. He actually does look like that Titan that runs around like this.
Relax.
Go on, take a video.
This is not what you want the judge.
So he gets arrested, but they let him go. Again. I don't get it. So I'm starting to lose faith that Korea's actually going to lock him away for any length of time. I think maybe, and this could be cope, they're letting him continue to do these things so that he gets more charges, so they have more grounds to lock him away for longer than the 10 years he's already facing. But even then, I just don't think that's a great strategy. He is actively doing this on purpose to rub it in the Korean government's face. Why let him continue that? He doesn't get detained or anything. How much do you think he makes per stream? No Way Party has ads, so it's all donations. My prediction is maybe $100 a stream. So I skimmed through his stream a little bit. He makes less than $100, at least of all the content I've seen. Because keep in mind, every prank call he does here is $5. And he only did, I think it was three or four prank calls to the police. And then he ran around half naked, looking like an absolute abomination, an amorphous blob. So like, that's not a lot. He gets $20 for that. How can he afford to keep doing this shit? Isn't travel expensive? Well, he can't leave. He literally cannot leave Korea right now because he is a criminal and he is facing a lot of charges. Again, just to refresh your memory, he has already pled guilty to charges that carry 5 to 10 years in jail. So he can't leave the country, but he's also not in jail right now, so he just gets to go home, drink himself to death on stream, and then get himself arrested time and time again. 5 USD is 73.38 Korean won. USD worth more in Korea, so it might actually work out for him. I guess, until he actually goes to jail, which he's coming to terms with now. Like, he himself is starting to be... Like, this is like when you're a child and you first start gaining sentience, right? Like, you're just sitting there with, like, a fucking chicken tender in your hand, and then one day it kicks in and, like, oh, I'm thinking. Like, I'm conscious. That's happening to him, that he's realizing he's not going to have freedom again. But yeah, that's the Johnny Somali update. I am glued to it. And I gotta be honest. The plot twists have me starting to question if he's even actually going to go to jail. The fact they just let him go during all of this is crazy to me. They might deport him instead of paying to jail him. And that would be the saddest ending if they do just deport him like everywhere else has. Like, I don't know why no one will just step up and actually punish him. I don't get it. I really don't. It's so fucking frustrating. I'm praying Korea's the heroes we need when it comes to Johnny Somali. A 5-year sentence is a joke. I mean, 5 years is no joke, but he's also not done getting all of his charges. So, 5 years is the appetizer. I see you've looked at a little bit on the case, but not enough. Okay, Johnny Somali, he's that nuisance streamer that I've covered for quite a while. He's the guy that does like the world tour of getting his ass beaten. So he goes to a different place pretty frequently, and when he's there, he does his absolute best to harass people, break laws, and just be like the most insufferable piece of shit imaginable. And it usually ends with his face on the floor or his face in somebody's asshole. And he's been doing this for a while. He got arrested in Japan, but they gave him a slap on the wrist. He lied to them, left the country, started shit-talking them. He's been everywhere. But what's most important is, he went to Korea, and he started doing the same shit. Well, Koreans, they didn't take it lightly. They even had like a UAV on this guy where they tracked him in order to find him so they could continue to beat his ass so he would not know a minute of peace. It was beautiful. It was an amazing thing. And he got charged with some very serious stuff. And he just went to his first trial today, and it went really, really bad for him. So, according to Atozi, who went there, and not just Atozi, there's others that are there, kind of just to like see how it all goes and also just relish in the justice that he's finally about to be faced with. According to Atozi, he showed up dreadfully hungover because I guess last night he went live doing shots for donations and he got super fucking plastered and, like, I don't know, puking his brains out or something. Then he went to trial, was extremely late, and he went there with a huge smile on his face, got hit with very serious charges carrying many years of prison time, and then the reality swept in. And then there was no smiles left. And this isn't even all of his charges. Today was only some of his charges, and he's already looking at least 5 to 10. He pled guilty as well. So it's not looking really good for the Wonder Boy, Johnny Somali. Oh, another thing is, he was wearing a hat, and many times he was told to take it off. He would take off the hat and then put it back on and get told to do it, like, take it off again. So he was just being extremely disrespectful in the court, apparently. So everything that could go wrong did go wrong. He couldn't even pretend to be likable for a court appearance. He also didn't have a suit, so he had to borrow a suit that was like 12 sizes too big. It's comical. It's like me wearing my 6'5" dad's suit. He said this is basically what he looked like in that suit. Has he come to America? No, he's still in Korea facing trial for all of his crimes. It's going to be many years before he comes back to America, it's looking like, thank God. He's most likely going to end up locked away in a foreign prison with an entire country that hates him. If he thought the ass-beating global tour was bad before, wait until he gets it in a slammer. Holy. Everyone in Korea hates him. And yeah, here's Legal Mindset where he was giving his perspective on it. He was also in the Atozi stream as well. He pled guilty to obstruction of business and 2 counts of violating the Minor Crimes Act, which, according to Legal Mindset, is basically like the equivalent of misdemeanors over there. But they take it very seriously, so even with just these, which seem like, they don't seem like crazy charges that someone would be, you know, fucking thrown into the gulag for, but he's still facing 5 to 10 years for it. For just these that he pled guilty to. And he still has more on the way. Oh yeah, he had no idea about the additional obstruction of business charge which was filed against him. That's the one he's going back for in April. His lawyer also didn't know. Oh, and here we go. Looks like they have the footage of when he was streaming hours before being supposed to show up to court and then being really late.
Somali live on party. Yo, there we
Look at how happy he is just moments before faced with many years in jail. Oh my God. Johnny, hey Johnny!
Live on party. Locking in with party.com. We got the deal in the works. Man, shout out the creator. Shout out B.
Hey, shout out. That deal is going to go through, no doubt, Johnny. Those party streams in prison with making Pruno in the toilets is going to be ballistic, no doubt, brother. You will never see him without a black eye. He's going to be constantly just bruised and bloody, like, hey, back on party. Really enjoying myself.
Be a better me.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to make sure that we can make some fire-ass content here while I'm still in Korea.
Hey, why are you still in Korea, Johnny? What's going on? I thought you were leaving a while ago. What are you still there for? What's going on, man? Why can't you leave?
Is live tomorrow, and I will be live streaming the trial. I will be live streaming before, during, and after, exclusively here on Party.
Hey, how'd that go, Johnny? How'd that stream go? I bet it was fucking amazing, huh?
Me, a bunch of motherfuckers that without me, I'm gonna be fully suited and booted out with the MAGA hat. I'm gonna have the full suit on.
The suit that he borrowed from, like, the nearest clown store. It was way too big. I don't remember how tall he is. I think he's actually shorter than me. So that shit he must have borrowed from, like, anywhere else that's not fit for, like, toddler clothing. He looked like an absolute fool.
And I'm gonna continue to go live here.
Oh, they didn't even get the part where he started throwing up and puking and getting super hungover before going to trial really late. Oh, here we go, here we go.
I'm giving y'all the first viral moment tonight.
He's ready for trial. Let's go, Johnny. So cool. What a guy.
God damn, I just threw up everywhere. I just threw up everywhere. That's how you know I'm not scamming. I'm not scamming. That's how you know I'm not scamming.
Oh, what a fucking hero. I can't believe his first day in court didn't go well. It's so weird. He was prepped perfectly. Yeah, here it is. So just the obstruction of business can carry a maximum penalty of 5 years in jail. It's possible he ends up being sentenced to 10 years behind bars, depending on how the trial plays out. And again, that's not all the charges yet. That's just the current charges that he was facing today. Pled guilty to. Oh, it's so good. He's also been accused of violating anti-terrorism laws, threatening to sexually assault female streamers, drug use, AI deepfakes, violating Railroad Act, even spreading North Korean propaganda. He's not facing any of these, to my knowledge, yet. Korea has a 90% conviction rate, don't they? Here, you know what? He explains it better than I ever could. But, yes, kind of. Here.
Yeah, they were pretty shocked.
Oh, okay. So that was a separate charge. Was that the charge that he was showing? And
the new obstruction.
Oh, the newest obstruction charge. Okay, yeah. So there's another charge as well that's coming against him about the deepfake stuff that he accidentally leaked on his stream last night.
Nice.
As we've been covering, I mean, he's been playing his cards in the worst way possible the whole time, from start to finish.
You just don't understand his strategy. You see, Johnny Somali's 10 steps ahead of us. He's the drunken master.
And last night, I guess he decided to get drunk at 3 in the morning, go live, and show up extremely late to court because of that. And on his live stream, he was doing, like, I guess, getting paid to do shots, and he ended up showing a new charge that hadn't been leaked to the public yet.
So that charge was actually it's the police case that the police have given over to the prosecutor. So it means that they're going to prosecute it. It's going to trial. Yeah.
In the Korean system, once the police decide to actually formally charge you and they send it to the prosecutors, that's pretty much it. That's where you get the 90+% conviction rate. You're pretty much done. If they've decided to go that far, that means they have the evidence to prove the crime.
And that's exactly what Johnny Somali wants them to think. He's got them eating out of the palm of his hands. He just needs to go get his ass beat a couple more times. It's going to reset his noodle, and he's going to once again, it's going to be like taking the limitless pill. Johnny Somali unlocks 100% of his brain when he's suffering from CTE from all the people in the world that continuously use him as a punching bag. So you just wait for him, sober up, he'll go outside, annoy somebody, they'll beat his ass per usual, and then we're going to see him at maximum capability. My God, he's going to be the smartest man on the planet. It can't just be for clout and money, right? Like, it has to be a mental illness or a humiliation kink. Humiliation kink only goes so far. Usually, a humiliation kink doesn't result with you doing things that'll send you to jail for fucking 10 years. That's not a humiliation kink. And it's not even masochism either, because he gets really mad when he gets hurt. He starts crying. Like, actually crying. So I don't know what it is. I think it's just actual delusion. I mean, it definitely is a mental illness. 100% is a mental illness. I just don't exactly know what kind. It's like terminal clout obsession. I couldn't tell you. It's fascinating, though. It is so interesting. He doesn't even get much attention on his streams, though. That's the thing. He doesn't... The interesting thing about Johnny Somali is he is such, like, a fringe case of, like, what I usually talk about, where no matter who you are, you'll have supporters. Johnny Somali doesn't even have that. He has people that love to watch him get his ass beat. He has, like, he doesn't have anyone that actually likes him. He has people that watch him just waiting for him to get hurt. And they entice him and they, like, push him towards it. Like, donating for shots before trial. They just enable him to be a fucking disaster until he eventually ends up dead. And it's not even, like, hate watchers, because it's, like, really fun for them to watch him destroy his life. It's a crazy... I can't even call it a community, because he doesn't have a community. He just has people that sit around, and they'll, like, shoot spitballs at him, but with a dollar bill attached. It's so fascinating. He's just a lol cow. Yeah, but it goes above a lol cow. Like, he's... I don't even know what you'd call it. It's like an he's like a visual novel lolcow where you get to choose the outcome. Because most of the shit he does, it's the chat like enticing him to do it, convincing him it's a good idea. So they are like actively guiding him down the path of being the ultimate fucking destructive loser that's going to get thrown in jail or dead. It's like they get to guide him. Like they're taking him down the Telltale game, you know, tree for the bad ending. Kind of like a choose your own adventure. Yeah, it's kind of like a choose your own adventure. Never heard of this guy. I have no doubt you don't know Johnny Somali's name, but you know his work. You probably just don't recognize him with his eyes open. Usually he's concussed on the ground after getting beaten on stream. I'm confident you've seen his many highlights of just getting pummeled in public. He is internationally hated. He is. He is internationally hated. He is like a unifying force across the planet. Just this scourge that when he enters your country, everyone's united looking for him so they can beat him up. Like, I wasn't kidding. In Korea, they actually set up like a UAV is the wrong word. And geoguessr is definitely not the right way of describing it. But they set up something so they could track him, tell each other, so they could go and attack him. Because he is just that hated. He is that bad of a person. He is that much of a menace. Who are his role models, man? I don't know, a Wobbuffet with the amount of times he just gets hit? I couldn't tell you. I don't know who his role models are. I don't even know if he knows who his role models are. All he does is just look for ways of getting himself hurt. Wouldn't you feel like a failure if you were a parent who spawned this? I've said this before and I still maintain it. I think there's only so much parenting can do. Sometimes, like in Johnny Somali's case, I'm sure maybe his parents weren't great. I have no idea. Maybe they were amazing. But there are only some things that you can control. You can't control your son getting hard addicted to clout online to the point where he's willing to throw his whole life away for a couple of donations, right? Like, you can't... What are you as a parent going to do about that? Like, he's a grown-ass man. They can't just, like, walk into his room and unplug the Ethernet cable, right? Like, there are just some things that you as a parent don't have control over. I don't know his parents. I have to imagine they are probably fucking livid. They probably are so sad about this. Because it's gotta suck, man. You raise a human being for 18 years, ends up like Johnny Somali. Fucking rough. Oh, another thing worth mentioning. He is always the one to instigate it. He's usually the ones to make the threats. And then he starts actually crying when they beat his ass for it.
이 새끼 뇌병변 장애 있나 봐.
There it is. Oh yeah. I see how you censored it. So you can see the start. He came at him with like the fucking flying front kick, and then Johnny's like running away. It's so good. Then they chase him down. Up 2, but he's most likely gonna get 1 to 5. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm a little too optimistic, but I really think there's a chance Korea just does not play games with this. The charges are bad already, but even aside from that, he is just so openly disrespectful, not only to the public, but to the court system as well. He showed up over an hour late, hungover. He kept putting on his hat when he was told repeatedly not to. Like, I feel like they're not gonna go easy on him. It's, again, maybe I'm just, huffing the hopium, but I just have a feeling. That would be the best thing they could do, because that would finally maybe start to be a deterrent to these IRL nuisance streamers. Boy howdy do I have some amazing news for you today. If you haven't been keeping up with the sad, pathetic tale of Johnny Somali, let me fill you in on the lore. I made a couple videos on him. Pretty much everyone on the internet has shot spitballs at him. He is probably the biggest loser and like the biggest communal urinal that people take turns peeing on. He's a nuisance streamer who travels around the world just getting his ass beat. He is literally like a piñata that gets delivered to different countries for the citizens to beat up and take some anger out on. Because he's a racist asshole who does his best to disrupt society and make everyone's lives around him miserable. So it's justified that people just beat his ass because he is just this miasma of cringe and just a general piece of shit. And he's so proud of it too. This is his Boy Scout badge of honor. He openly gloats about it.
So what do you want to talk about? Swing or not? Like, nigga gonna come up to me, bro, why you being racist to other people in other countries? For money.
For clout. I've said it many times. I don't give a fuck. I have no morals. I'm a fucking sociopath.
You're not a sociopath. You're a dweeb. You're an embarrassing little weirdo. You're a tiny little rat that your community feeds some cheese to in order to enable you to keep entertaining them through getting your ass beat because you are a gluttonous knuckle sandwich magnet. I like that jelking Johnny tries to pretend that it's a little harder than it is, like, well, I'm just kind of a sociopath. You know, pumping out his chest, yeah, I do it all for money and clout, because I'm a sociopath. No, you are not. You are a nerd. You are a pitiful dork who probably has 3rd-degree burns up his butt crack because of all of the wedgies the rest of the world gives you every day. He's doing this in South Korea right now, or at least he was until he got arrested, where he is now facing up to 10 years in prison. This happened in Japan too, where ultimately he didn't get the book thrown at him. They kind of just slapped him on the wrist, gave him a little pat on the bottom, and then sent him on his way to get his ass beat in another country. But South Korea, things have been going a little bit differently for Johnny Somali, because he is getting fucking spawn camped there. The South Koreans hate him. So anytime they see him, it's on sight. They are throwing hands, and it has been just such a joy to watch him just get fucking clocked every time he fires up a stream. He's like a Wobbuffet from Pokemon. He just keeps getting like slapped around but keeps coming back. But each time, unlike a Wobbuffet, he's taking more and more damage. So as his streams have progressed in South Korea, he's wearing more and more medical bandages because he has so many injuries. He's like Johnny from Ed, Edd n Eddy. Like, next time I see him on stream, I'll probably have like a fucking neck brace and like 2 casts on his arms. That's if he ever streams again, if he doesn't face the 10 years in prison. But before diving more into that, I'd like to just show you a highlight reel, a montage of my favorite moments of Johnny Somali just getting brutalized.
소만이 어디가?
Yes, sir.
어디 가냐고?
You guys following me crazy? Look at you.
어디가?
어디가? What you mean? 어디가?
어디가?
What is 어디가? Yo, please.
Unfortunately, I had to cut out the satisfying clobbering that Johnny Somali received here. However, I can show you the aftermath. First, credit where credit is due. The beatdown was administered by this guy right here, who went on to say that the reason he did it is because of how disrespectful Johnny Somali is to all of South Korean culture. He is being extremely racist throughout all of South Korea, and people hate him there for it. For good reason. It's very clear why so many people in South Korea have been beating his ass when you see what he's been doing there for the last, I don't even know how long he's been there. But Johnny has been so bad there that he is being investigated by the government. He can't leave South Korea and will be facing potentially 10 years in prison with all of the new stuff that they have been looking into. This is the aftermath of Johnny Somali getting rocked, very unsteady on his feet, wobbling around, looking like he's ready to receive a Mortal Kombat fatality. Normally, I'm not one to celebrate a sucker punch, but in this case, that is probably the holiest, most justified sucker punch ever delivered. Like, that is just what the doctor ordered in this case. Johnny Somali is not a fighter, so anytime something happens, he runs away like it's, you know, Tom and Jerry, and usually he doesn't get very far because he's also not athletic, so he still gets an ass beating, just more like across like a block as opposed to in one location. So I'll show you another one of those in a moment. But I do think there is a case where Johnny Somali might be trying to collect fists like Infinity Stones, like it's somehow going to make him stronger. Or maybe it's like that classic shit you see in anime where a character consumes poison in order to build up an immunity to it over time. Johnny's doing that with punches. He's trying to get punched so many times that he becomes immune to them in the future.
씨발 내병변 장애 있어?
Not the fat off your face.
이 새끼 내병변 장애 있나 봐.
What's up?
때렸다. 레전드.
Once again, I had to cut out the impact as well as the ensuing fight. Not with Johnny Somali. Johnny Somali, whenever he gets into a confrontation, he goes like fetal position, but this guy 1v3 Johnny and his friends. So after he stormed Johnny and gave him like a fucking flying kick, Johnny of course sprints away, and then he's not fast or anything, so he easily gets taken down further up the road. They throw him to the ground. He continues to get fed his desserts here. And then one of Johnny's friends also starts just getting manhandled by this guy. And it's just a beautiful 1v3 where Johnny and his friends just get blasted. It's so good. And one thing that's just a classic Johnny Somali move is he likes to pretend he is the victim when that happens, even though he is the instigator. So before this clip happened, it was Johnny threatening them. Like, people don't like Johnny, so they'll go, of course, like, tell him, get the fuck out, stop being racist and all of that. And Johnny will usually just keep trying to elevate confrontation in order to, you know, stir the pot and hope that something like this happens. And then when it does, he's like, oh, this is ridiculous. I've got it all on camera. It's so pathetic.
Put this in your next YouTube documentary. I don't give a fuck.
Our Korean niggas is weak as
swing on the whole time. I was waiting for him to swing on Johnny. I was waiting, bro. I was waiting for him to
We're ready, Reddit, Twitter, come.
I wanted to stop on this.
Hank is here tonight. We're not scared.
Go to Johnny's favorite.
Oh, another beautiful one. You can see him, like, charging that punch up coming. He's giving him that, why I oughta, right before delivering the punch. And then his friend, who was talking a big game about, I was waiting for them to swing, just sits there and goes, literally pogs out on him. It's so good. Also, like I said, Johnny and his friends did get 1v3'd. Not in this instance. This was a totally separate ass beating. There's just been so many. They did get 1v3'd, so the guy that was waiting for someone to swing did get someone to swing. Didn't go so well. It did not work out super well for him, I don't believe. Anyway, though, those are like the main clips of Johnny getting attacked, and they're just such a joy to watch. I don't know how that doesn't put a smile on your face, seeing an absolute insufferable douchebag, actually evil person getting beat up for it. Who doesn't love that? That's some happy stuff. Now let's talk about him potentially facing 10 years in prison. Now, what kicked things off in a big way was Johnny doing his classic degeneracy, getting kicked off a subway, causing a scene in a convenience store, also just antagonizing people around him, not mentioned here, but that's most of what his content is, and then sparked big outrage by kissing the Statue of Peace, which is a monument to victims of sexual slavery. He did more than that as well. Also, that doesn't really encompass what he was doing. It was beyond disrespectful what Johnny was doing throughout South Korea, and eventually that led to many South Koreans wanting to just take matters into their own hands. There was even a bounty put up on him for information so they could find him and keep beating his ass, which had me giggling really hard when I learned about that. They actually had like a 3-kill streak UAV online so they could keep tracking Johnny and keep giving him wet willies and beating him up. So then he eventually got investigated by South Korean parliament, and that restricted him from leaving the country because he's now facing charges of assault and narcotics use. Apparently, South Korea is very strict when it comes to drug use, so possession or use of illegal drugs can result in a sentence of up to 10 years in jail or a $72,000 fine. Meanwhile, the assault can carry a maximum penalty of 2 years and a $3,000 fine. And this is just a little tidbit that Dexerto threw in at the end here. Should the case go to trial, this would be his second time in court in an Asian country. After his trial in Japan, Somali admitted to lying to the judge, claiming he wasn't making any money streaming and was filming documentaries. I can only hope that South Korea will not be as lenient as Japan was with this absolute worm. He flexed, openly bragging about how he got let off easy in Japan. And his lying. It's actually crazy. I hope South Korea plays some hardball with him here and doesn't give him an inch. He is going to keep doing this across the globe. He's not going to stop. Do the world a favor. Lock him the fuck up. Please, Jesus. I mean, it's for his own safety, really. Like, it really is in the best interest of Johnny Somali to be in jail. Because anytime he's out of jail, all he does is just keep getting pummeled into the ground. So anyway, just wanted to talk about this a little bit. That's it. So, yep. I remember in high school, my Spanish teacher had a poster on the wall that said, "We all smile in the same language." And I thought that was wholesome and cute. We all inhabit this space rock and we all have our differences, but a smile, well, that's something we all share in common. And another thing that every single person on this planet shares in common is our disdain for this streamer. There's not a soul on this earth that actually likes this guy. His own community only follows him to try and get him arrested or beat up. And when it comes to those two metrics, his community is more successful than the Beatles. The amount of times that his chat has gotten him beat up or arrested is incredible. Like, this man can't go live without getting his shit pushed in or it finishing with him in handcuffs, all because he's following the chat's advice. And he's so delusional he doesn't recognize that they're only there watching, waiting for him to get hurt, and nothing else. They're laughing at him, not with him, but he doesn't recognize that. And he does all of this ridiculous shit with a goofy, stupid smile on his face as he ruins his life live for the entertainment of his audience that's treating him as like a human experiment. So, I've talked about him before, everyone's talked about him before. He's the public nuisance streamer that travels the globe and just makes everyone's lives miserable around him by harassing them, spamming racist insults at them, disrespecting the cultures that he visits, and he keeps getting arrested.
Oh, you a bad bitch, I swear to God. You a bad bitch, I'll take you to dinner. I swear to God, I'll change your life. I'll change your life, baby. Baby, I'll change your life, I promise you. You a bad bitch right here. I'll change your life, baby girl. You know, I'm in the sidewalk. I'm in the sidewalk. Don't touch me. I'm in the sidewalk. I'm in the sidewalk. Okay, I'll go. What the fuck? Okay, let's go. Relax. Relax. America. I'm in the sidewalk. I'm from America. What are you doing?
This is from one of his more recent arrests in Israel. You can see him start to panic and spamming "I'm American" as if that's somehow going to save him here, like that's his safe word that's going to get him out of this situation. It's like, oh my god, pardon me, I didn't realize you were American. Let me dust you off. Fucking goober. But yeah, this is how his streams go. He just causes as many problems as possible for his audience, and then it either ends with him missing some teeth or him missing some freedom in a prison cell. But unfortunately, no matter how many times he gets arrested, for some reason, they keep releasing him. They keep letting him out of the slammer. And I do have a bit of a conspiracy theory, so excuse the tinfoil hat here. But I have to think the authorities keep letting him out of the slammer because they're in on the joke, and they know if he gets out, the cycle's going to continue, and he's just going to go out there and get beat up by another stranger, because he is a knuckle sandwich magnet. Any stranger with a fist somehow finds this man's face and just fucking pounds his flesh to bits. It happens so often. He is a sentient punching bag with a pulse, but somehow has even less of a personality than a punching bag would. But it is admittedly very entertaining watching him get fucking brutalized every time he goes live from problems he himself starts with people. Honestly, I'm surprised he doesn't beg just to stay in jail. Like, it's probably safer for him there. Because I don't even think he's ever even thrown a punch back during any of these altercations. He just, like, his arms are like limp noodles, I guess. Because anytime that someone starts beating him up, he just sits there and fucking takes it. It's like they're just beating up a corpse at that point. Like, it's so weird. This guy's a fucking loser. Everyone knows that. I'm not even going to bother saying his name because he's just a vermin whose brain is so poisoned by clout that the only thing he thinks matters in the world is attention. He needs attention more than he needs oxygen, so I'm not going to be saying his name. I'm sure you've already seen this NPC plastered all over the internet. He's one of those very few unifying moments that brings everyone together because we all dislike him the exact same. It's one of those things where no matter our differences, we can all come together and spit on this guy together, because he super sucks. He's just an absolutely deplorable, worthless piece of shit. So, you might remember him most notably from his infamous Japan trip where he spent 90 days in jail, and then he got released. You know, he was talking about how he'll never make videos again or whatever, and then the second he's out of Japan, he immediately goes right back to doing it and starts gloating in their face about how, like, he got away with it and it was all unjust and all that, and then immediately goes to Israel just to do the same shit again, gets arrested, and does more shit like this.
I'm from America, don't touch me, bitch. Don't touch me, bitch. Don't touch me, bitch. I'm from America, bitch. Don't touch me, I'm from America, bitch. Don't touch me. I'll slap that ass, I'll grab it too. Donald Trump told me grab it by the pussy, I'll grab that too. Stop playing with me, bitch. I'll grab it by the pussy right here, nigga. I don't give a fuck.
Influenza is more likable than this guy. And also, for someone who apparently doesn't give a fuck, you sure are super sensitive about people making fun of you and hurting your feelings. He was threatening to sue YouTubers that made fun of him. He somehow thinks that this is a flex. He's trying to say it's defamation, libel, and slander, and that he's going to be issuing cease and desists. I'm honestly impressed that his spelling is correct here. I thought for sure he was close to illiterate, but maybe he had his lawyers draft up this tweet. But then again, his voice really does shine through with the last statement. It's gonna feel so good spending your YouTube ad revenue on coke and hookers. Yeah, that really sounds so hard. You can't get pussy unless you pay for it. What a big alpha male man you are, brother. But anyway, this is a bunch of hooey. This is a bunch of barnacles. Like, what a load of fish paste. There's no way he has the capacity to sue anyone because his lawyers are way too deep into fighting all of his criminal charges across the globe. They're having their own, like, Avengers Endgame moment with all of these lawsuits from all of these different countries. There's no way they'd have time to tackle some YouTuber squabble. I don't even know why I'm pretending for even a second that this is real. There is a 0% chance that he has any lawyers at all. This is just a sniveling worm flexing his non-existent lats for his community that treats him like Bozo the Clown, where they can toss tomatoes at him while they watch him ruin his life for their entertainment. He doesn't have anyone in his corner, let alone some lawyers. This man is totally fucking alone, and the only solace he finds is in going live so that way his audience can cheer as he gets his ass fucking pounded into oblivion on the sidewalk per usual. What a miserable existence that is. I don't even know why he's even trying to put on this facade that he has lawyers or any ability to have a lawsuit against somebody. I guess if there was to be a deeper message of this video besides just making fun of this pathetic person, it would be that I really hope at some point he does get thrown in jail for an extremely long period of time. He breaks so many laws and broadcasts it proudly online and makes a mockery out of all of the legal systems that he's taking advantage of here because he keeps getting released. Why? That doesn't make any sense. Keep him in prison for this shit. It'd be totally understandable and it'd be a huge PR win. That's such a rare occurrence where you can get an absolute PR slam dunk by locking up a live streamer. You would get applause and fist pumps out the wazoo from the entire cyberspace if you announced, "We are not releasing him anytime soon. He will spend this many years in jail for the following crimes that he committed and broadcast online." Make an example out of him. Like, I don't know how he keeps getting away with it. But yeah, he is still currently doing the same shit, and he will continue to do so until he is eventually either dead from this or in jail for a long period of time. So I just wanted to talk about it and make fun of him again. That's really about it. So yeah. I know all of you already know this, but I can't stand public nuisance streamers, the absolute degenerate losers who go out into the world and film themselves just harassing random people. Basically, just pathetic worms that go out into the world and treat strangers like NPCs to spit on and use as props for their content. And one of the biggest goofballs in this category of content is named Johnny Somali, and he was just arrested in Japan, which is the most unsurprising news of all time. The only shocking thing about this story is that it hasn't happened sooner. Johnny Somali is a name you might have heard a couple of times over the last few months because he has said himself that he will do anything necessary to achieve clout, and the path he's chosen for that is to go to Japan and just harass everyone by spamming racist shit at them and a lot of deplorable garbage. It's a mystery how he hasn't been deported or killed. He actually flirted with death one time on stream not too long ago, actually, where he was barking up the wrong tree and was nearly sent to meet his maker.
Yeah, man, nigga, yeah, and what?
Just don't error. All you have to say
don't
is
grab nothing. Oh.
Anonymous sent $3 Hiroshima, Nagasaki, Hiroshima, Nagasaki, Hiroshima, Nagasaki, Hiroshima, Nagasaki, Hiroshima.
外国人同士喧嘩してんぞ、殴り合いめっちゃしてんぞ。
Absolutely beautiful haymaker delivered there, complete with like a Viking screech there, like a primal guttural yell as he delivers the most telegraphed hook I've ever seen in my life. But these two goobers didn't react to it at all. They just ate it like it was a bowl of cereal. And I also love the timing of that donation because it played that Mario coin sound effect, so it actually felt like he had just got the coins beat out of him by this guy. And I love that we also have another camera angle here to capture the aftermath, because they tried to play it off like it barely hit them, but you can actually see one of them pooled blood a little bit on the ground because they got knocked out, like, briefly. So it's everything about that just felt amazing to watch. It's very hard to root for someone, you know, committing a public assault, but when they're instigating and the entire purpose for them being in Japan is to instigate conflict like this, it's hard not to at least pump your fist and cheer when they finally get what they deserve. And man, once again, very impressive delivery of this wallop. It was a wombo combo. He blasted both of them. Fucking Johnny Somali watched his friend get clobbered, and then he said, "Excuse me, what about second breakfast? May I have one? I want what he's having." And then he also gets blasted too. Like, he did nothing to prevent it at all. He just sat there and took it. The camera angle where we can see what happened after they get dropped, and like all of their like belongings are scattered. I guess their fanny pack blew up when they fell over. It actually seems like they got the loot beat out of them in Diablo. Like when you defeat a mob and there's like loot left on the ground. That's what happened here. And they completely deserved it. They started that whole thing. That clapping really sums up this whole situation. When these two goofballs got dropped, everyone who witnessed it clapped. They celebrated. Like they had just watched their favorite sports team win a big game. They were happy to see them finally get dropped. Now, I'm not here just to go through memory lane of all of Johnny Somali's worst moments. There's plenty of videos that go over his history on why he's just an absolute degenerate loser. But he has now been arrested, and that's what I want to talk about, because that is a huge W. That is long overdue. So he got arrested because he broke into a construction site on stream, and there's footage of him being arrested because he films everything that happens there because it's all content. And this might actually be the happiest moment of his life because he knows this is another article about to be written about him, which means maybe a couple extra viewers there to point and laugh at him like the clown he is. You can see his eyes light up. He is loving it. Having the handcuffs thrown on him, it's all being captured on stream. This is better than Christmas for him. He got the ultimate gift here. Santa Claus was real nice to him. And he got like a 72-hour ban on Kick, which was lifted, because obviously Kick doesn't ban anyone for fucking anything. Someone could go on Kick Live right now and execute a man in cold blood, and they'd probably just ban him for 24 hours and be like, well, he's probably learned his lesson by now. But anyway, even as Johnny was being arrested, he did not go quietly into the night. He made sure to deliver more high-quality, gut-busting comedy that he's become known for, by mentioning nuclear disasters. Because that's all he fucking says there. He mentions the nuclear bombs during World War II and the Fukushima nuclear power plant disaster as jokes. That's the joke he likes to make. He's literally just an edgy bot. There's barely even a brain left in his skull. He's just been programmed to say the most generic, edgy shit that he can muster up in order to jingle keys in front of his pathetic chat that supports him. So, as of right now, there's no new updates on the status of Johnny, whether he's still in custody or if he's even going to be allowed to stay in Japan. Hopefully, he won't be allowed to stay in Japan unless it's staying in a prison, because he's just been terrorizing Japan. And after months of documented evidence of his behavior and the deplorable shit he's done over there, I don't understand why they'd let him stay there with no problem at all. But I guess we'll see. I want to give you a bonus clip though, give you a little dessert here on top of all this, because there's another public nuisance streamer who just found himself in some hot water, with his life flashing before his eyes off of problems that he created for himself.
He's sitting right over fucking there and no one's paying attention. You know why? Because of racism. Yep. Okay. That's not funny.
Funny.
No.
It's very funny.
Why is that funny?
Because I said it's funny.
Alright, you and me, Central Park, tomorrow. Don't be late, motherfucker.
Do it now. Ain't no reason to wait. What happened? Yeah, what happened?
Who could have possibly predicted this outcome? Are you trying to tell me a guy like this is a coward? Say it ain't so. I don't believe you. I don't believe what I'm seeing here. So full disclosure, I don't know who this guy is. It seems like he's just another one of those revolting ooze douchebags that just instigate conflict, but in this case, the person that he's starting all the hoopla with actually just calls him out on it, and he's like, alright, then we'll fucking fight. The streamer point blank challenges him, tells him to meet him in Central Park tomorrow. Obviously, he's being very vague on purpose because he has no plans of engaging in any kind of pugilistic combat here. And then when the stranger's like, no, why wait? We can just settle it now. Which is such a badass line, and the second he unzips his jacket, you can almost hear the streamer's heart skip a beat. He's getting palpitations, and fight or flight kicks in, and you know he's not fighting, so he just bolts out. I have no doubt that is the fastest he's ever run in his entire life.
Alright. I hope he doesn't chase me, because I don't want to fight him. Am I a pussy beta? Perhaps. But I don't know.
I'd legitimately feel bad for him if he wasn't such a scumbag. You can hear the size of realization where he comes to terms with actually just being a fucking loser. He couldn't even cobble together some kind of loose defense of his actions here. He goes, am I a pussy beta? Perhaps, but I don't know. Like, he's starting to get some self-realization here at the pathetic specimen that he's become. You can also tell from the chat what kind of community he's fostered over there, so not exactly someone to feel really bad for here. The only one to feel bad for is the guy that was being harassed, because he didn't even get the closure of being able to get a few good shots in on this fucking loser. But anyway, I just wanted to share all of this information with you. Great news with Johnny Somali being arrested. Great news with this guy having a very embarrassing clip of him being a coward come out. And yeah, that's really about it. See ya.